Hi guys, so today we're doing a different sort of review video. We're on our way to Only Airsoft in Norfolk. It's to basically give a bit of a retailer overview of people that are near to us. It'll be the first of a series, so others will follow as well. For the benefit of YouTube, first off, we will be going into an airsoft shop where there will be realistic imitation firearms. All of them are airsoft firearms, nothing is real, and everything will be clear and safe. So the reason for doing the video today, looking through Facebook, looking on social media, as many of us do, we see a lot of posts saying, I've just bought this R.I.F. or I'm looking at this R.I.F. and what do you think? Now my opinion on that is it's all well and good asking strangers on the internet what they think, but you're going to get a million different responses, and you know, none of them necessarily are going to share your view. So my advice when I see these posts is normally to go along to a retailer, get hands-on and decide whether you like it that way, and then you can ask about it with the people in the store. You can look at the pros and the cons, you can compare a Mark 18 to a Mark 18, and that means then that you are buying a gun that you are happy with, you have held, you have hopefully fired on a range. This is something that Only Airsoft in Norfolk offer. They have a great range of R.I.F.s, as you'll see. They've also got a range where they allow you to test, as well as many other supplies if you want to kit it out with your optics, your suppressors, your vert grips. So yeah, today is just a bit of an overview, just to give you guys an insight into them as a retailer, and what we think of them as airsofters as a retailer. As a full disclosure, I have been a customer of Only Airsoft for many years, but this is in no way a sponsored video. This is a warts and all view, and hopefully it'll be for some use to you guys. Keep watching. Okay, so now here with Adam, General Manager for the store. I guess before we go too much into the actual store, we just talk to Adam. How did you get into Airsoft? What's your background?
So Airsoft wise, I started by playing 1 or 2 paintball games. I think it was Skirmish was the original group that I went to. I played a couple of games, really liked the idea of like a combat sport side of things, rather than sat behind a computer. You know, I'm actually out on the field engaging.
Yep.
I then tried my first Airsoft game sort of midway through my Army Cadet career, so I went with a bunch of Army Cadets that I was going with at the time. Fast forward 20 years, I'm now stood here, like, you know, in the shop selling airsoft guns, real fake guns. It's a bit weird because obviously, you know, when I was a kid, it was very much like you'd rock up to the site and there's the guy on pitch with all his guns and everything, and you're sat there like, I'd love to do this as a job. It's like Top Gear but in airsoft basically. And yeah, the opportunity came to me where I had a bit of a change of career. Over the last 10 years I've been in the motor industry selling cars. I then unfortunately had a swift exit that didn't go very well. I was literally found walking the streets of Stevenage by the owners of the Stevenage store.
Yep.
I was then brought in obviously to help out, to obviously get back to used to working.
Sure.
Due to the efforts that I put in, obviously here I am now running the Norfolk side of things, which is it's very, very different, lots more responsibilities. However, I'm absolutely loving it. The biggest thing I love is obviously when someone comes into the shop, they've just started the sport, the hobby, it's putting a smile on the face and obviously taking them around the showroom, finding that right gun that's going to set them off in their airsoft career.
Sure.
So yeah, I absolutely love it. I've been enjoying airsoft as a player, as I said, for about 20 years. I have had a vast experience with different manufacturers, different guns, weapon systems.
Yeah, we've both been through the same thing. So you've been in 20 years, I've been 22 years. I mean, when I started the sport, it was around Free Fire Zone, and it was, you had 3 manufacturers in the market mainly.
Yes.
If you were looking at primaries, so you had Tokyo Marui, which everyone wanted. If you wanted a metal body, it was Classic Army.
Yep.
If you wanted metal body and you wanted upgraded, it was ICS, and they were really your main 3 options. But completely different market now. So how would you differentiate with all the brands that you stock in here? Do you section them out into what you would consider a beginner RIF and then work them up into something you would say was like an intermediate player to a professional player? Like, how do you try and decide what items you try to stock? Is it more towards the experienced player, or do you try to cater to everybody?
We try and obviously cater for everyone. So obviously we've got some big name brands like you've already mentioned. So obviously Tokyo Marui, we stock a lot of that. We also stock a lot of G&G stuff as well. So again, they kind of like were on the growing up obviously when we both started 20 years ago, and obviously they're a big name in the industry, obviously thanks to their combat machine series, which obviously 5 or 6 years ago that was the go-to. You'd see a lot of actual sites using them as rental guns as well. Nowadays, obviously, as technology's evolved and more manufacturers have come to light, you'll find that you can actually find, for a cheaper cost than a G&G combat machine, guns that will just as much outperform for less of a price. One of the brands that we're actually really popular with at the moment in time is Rossi, the Rossi Sentinel series. We actually have one of the guns on the counter right here.
Which we will also have an overview and a firing video of one of these on the channel as well. I must say, chronologically it's not in the right order, but actually really impressed with how it performed for the price point.
Yes.
I actually genuinely believe that for their price point they perform better than the CM16, which made the G&G so popular. So be really, really keen to see how Rossi go and where they go in the future as a brand, to be honest.
So they actually use the same OEM as what Spectre Arms use, Lancer Tactical, Saiga Defence, Huntsman. So there's a lot of other brands out there that share the same OEM. So you'd expect the same sort of quality for what a mid-range intermediate airsoft gun would have. The only real difference with Rossi, as opposed to like Spectre Arms, for example, they're Italian. So rather than it coming all out of Poland, it comes from Italy. Again, what's great about them is that what you've hit nail on the head is the price point. The biggest thing with starting the sport is it's a big outlay, obviously, when it comes to actually spending money on all your gear and kit that's going to get you through the start of the career. And obviously you want to try and get as much bang for your buck, is a saying that I say a lot. Reason being is that obviously someone comes in, they've got like a good £200-300. You don't just want to flog them a 250, 300 pound gun and all they've got is a battery and a magazine. You want to obviously give them a weapon system where they can tart it up, have loads of different accessories that's going to help them along their way, as well as more gear and equipment like obviously magazines, chest rigs, clothing, etc. Because people obviously don't understand when they walk into the sport, it's not just about the gun, it's about everything else obviously that comes with it. So yeah, I mean, coming back to what you were saying with regards to catering something for everyone. We obviously cater for like entry level, the intermediate player that's obviously looking for their second or third gun, and obviously we've got some more pro line stuff available as well, and obviously parts and upgrades. So even the more veteran airsoft player can come in and feel as if, you know, big tick in the box. They can come in, bring their gun in, and upgrade it, and really talk and get some good advice from players like myself and obviously my colleague Cameron.
I mean, and again, just to add to the last bit, as I said, I've been playing for 22 years. I come in here, there's stuff that I need, and you do cater to it. The thing that I sort of like as well is if you don't have it here, you're quite willing to look for me as well, see if you can source it, which is a bonus, because it means that when I leave, I know that if you don't have it, you can get it. But more often than not, you have it and I can take it home.
Exactly that.
And where I find it differs to buying something online is with a retail shop, if you have an issue, you've got a point of call to come back to. Whereas if you're trying to do it online, you're then on emails, on phone calls, you've got to send stuff away, which means you're longer without your item. So for me, going back to the initial reason for the video, just with everything that's in here, the ability to get hands-on with what you're looking at and use the range, not sells it, but it just makes it so much easier to know that what you're getting is what you're going to want and what you're going to enjoy. And I think that's probably one of the single biggest pluses, is that you have that opportunity to know what the gun does before you leave with it. You're not ordering it online. You do have an online presence, I hasten to add, but it means that you're not ordering online, then waiting for something to arrive to find out what it's like.
And then realise this isn't the right thing for me, actually.
Yeah. And with the experience of all of you guys, you know, we speak to Camelot, you can come in, you can ask questions. If you're not sure, they'll help you out. And if you guys don't know, you know someone that does.
Exactly.
So getting the advice on the back end is also good, and it means that you can cater to what the customer wants. So what a lot of people do with AEGs, for example, is they buy it and they instantly think, right, I want to upgrade the whole thing. Whereas that costs money, right?
Correct.
You can guide people on what upgrades to do at what point. Me personally, if it's an AEG, I run it to the brakes and then change parts around from there. That's not everyone's mindset.
No, exactly that.
Fine. But you know, hot rubbers behind you, barrels behind you, motors everywhere, springs everywhere. It just means that you can cater a solution to someone.
I mean, we've actually been established only airsoft wise for quite a long period. We actually started obviously from Stevenage around about sort of 7 or 8 years ago. We've obviously expanded up here into Norfolk, where obviously we have an attached warehouse with thousands of, well, I'd say thousands, hundreds of different replicas to choose from. And obviously coming back to what you were saying with regards to going out of our way to find stuff, obviously we can only cater for so many people. There's not enough money in the world to obviously stock every single airsoft product here, but we will obviously use our network of suppliers, and obviously with all the contacts we've made up over the years of being established as one of the UK's biggest retailers, we can obviously use that to try and find anything that people need. So obviously we'll always try and accommodate for everyone. The biggest thing, again, linking to what you were saying, having an on-site range is obviously completely different to what we would have had 20 years ago, where again, you're buying blind, apart from someone at site who's got a little market stall where you can actually see the guns, you're buying blind through the internet. Having a retailer like this 20 years ago, where you have an on-site range, you can touch, feel, play with the guns before you make any sort of purchasing decision. You know, I sit there and envy my past self and go, wow, could you imagine how different things would have been back then?
If these presences had been here 20 years ago, I think the sport would probably be in a completely different place as well. Not in a negative way, certainly in a positive way. But like you say, you know, unless you knew someone that worked in a retail outlet of some sort, you were buying completely blind. And again, this is the big sort of plus for this sort of presence. And just the range of stuff that you have here, there will be something for everyone in here. That's the point.
That is the big tick in the box that we're after, basically.
Yeah. But no, brilliant. Well, thank you for the time. Appreciate
Absolute
you
pleasure.
taking the time out to have a natter with us. And yes, and Airsoft Norfolk. Okay, so we're now on the way home after, must have been, what, another hour? Just nattering away to Adam, sharing stories after the game day yesterday. But hopefully that's given you guys a bit of an insight into only Airsoft and what they can offer. Through the videos, clearly you'll see the range of products that they actually try to stock and who they're trying to cater to. And hopefully that gives a bit more weight to what I was saying before about, you know, going in, getting hands-on with something rather than asking the opinion of people in social media. Not because I think people in social media are going to be nasty in any way, but just it's so much easier with a shop like that to go out, get hands-on, go and play with it, and make sure you're going to be happy before you spend your hard-earned money. Whilst we're here, please, Only Airsoft, they are on social media, Facebook, check out their website, go and look them up. They're more than happy to answer questions on the phone. They've got a question box, like an Ask bot on their website. Go ahead and use that as well. As I say, I've been a customer of theirs for many, many years. They've always helped, always looked after me. And if they don't know the answer to any question you might have, they will find out for you. They'll also look after you. Just any issues, they will always look after you. So thanks for watching, guys. Slightly longer video than last time. Hopefully I've been a bit more upbeat this time, rather than sounding like a taxman. And yeah, check out our socials as well. Thanks very much. Take care, guys.